Hi guys, this is Tarot with Gaia Tarot 13, and this is your weekly tarot card forecast for December 2nd through December 8th, 2018. We are already in December. This year has flown by, at least for me. As always, I'm going to pull 3 cards from the tarot deck. 1 for your work and financial life, 1 for your love and romantic life, and 1 for your home and family life. And now we have those. And just a heads up, my cat has been very loud and wanting me to give him attention. So if you hear him in the background, it's a good possibility that's going to happen. Okay, in your work life, we have the Six of Cups reversed. And this is saying you need to let go of the past. Oh yeah, before we started, I was going to tell you that I've got like myself situated so the light is kind of in front of me and it's doing this cool thing. And I like intentionally kept it that way because I like it. So I'm going to try and make sure it like doesn't do that on the cards as best I can. Whatever. Six of Cups reversed. Letting go of the past in your work life, like at work. Things might be different than they were before, and maybe you're having a hard time adapting to this change, or you just, wish that you could do things the way they were, and it's not necessarily because they're harder or less efficient. It's just because, like, maybe right now you're less efficient because you have to learn the new system, so you're like, that one was easier, and it was just easier because you knew it and you've been doing it and you could do it faster. But once you get this new system down, then it'll be faster as well. So I'm sorry, guys, I told you. So it's just you're having a hard time letting go and adapting to the new thing. Also, with your finances, it may be that things were like one way, and you have this attachment to that. Like, if you used to always have to be tight and pinch every single penny, and now you've got a little more disposable income. Maybe you're just further along in your job than you were before, you're older, you've gotten a raise, life changes, and you have a certain mindset from what you're used to doing, and now maybe you haven't like adapted to like, oh, like I can just go buy that thing without having to nail bite over it or worry about it, or think like, oh, we can't afford that, like, oh wow, like I can just go buy that. And finances are different. Money is different for everyone. What one person thinks is a lot of money might not be what someone else thinks is a lot of money. So however that shows up for you, whatever that thing is that you can now afford, whether it's, I don't know, fixing your water heater or something, and you just have that in your checking account and you're like, I don't have to worry about that, or buying a new pair of shoes or something, however that shows up for you, whatever that amount is, you are now kind of like realizing, okay, like I'm not not that it's in a bad way, but like I'm not comfortable with this. Like I'm used to being so penny pincher, and this is a weird feeling for me. It's good, but it's like it's kind of weird. So you're maybe kind of stuck in that past of how your finances used to be, and you're having like a weird reaction to what it is now. Or it could be the other way if just recently had some sort of financial loss. You're used to being able to spend whatever you want, and now you're like, oh, well, I can't do that. It could go both ways. In your love life, we have the Ace of Cups upright. You are going to be feeling the love this week. You are just like overflowing, is what I'm getting. Like, you're going to be totally feeling like you just love someone, and like you're feeling like all their love for you, and it's just going to be reciprocated, and it's going to flow well, and you're just going to be kind of like overtaken with it. And I don't know if it's for some of you who have a new relationship, this is kind of not abnormal in the beginning part of a new relationship, or maybe you're caught up in like the holiday spirit, or something along that lines, where you're like just feeling very familial or very very loving. But that's good. It's in your love section, and this is like a love card. There could be some new relationships for some of you where you start to get that like cutesy new love feeling in your new relationships. But however it shows up for you, even if you're coupled, like however it shows up for you, it's going to be that kind of feeling the love, feeling overjoyed. In your home life, we have the Eight of Swords upright. You are feeling restricted, but it's a self-imposed restriction. Like you can't go do something you want to do, or like there are a million other things around you that are taking priority over you maybe giving self-care. That's kind of what I'm getting right now, is like you are not taking the time to do self-care because you feel like all these other things are more important and all these other obligations, but the obligations are going to be there. And that's why this is self-imposed, because all that stuff that you think is a priority and that you think you need to be focusing on and doing, it's not as important as self-care, because if you don't do the self-care, then you're not going to be available to do all those things. So like, for example, if you're overworked and you're working too hard, then you're going to get sick, which is going to be a problem because then you can't do the work later. So you need to prioritize the self-care. You need to, I mean, yes, work hard, but know your limits. Don't push through just to push through because there's so much to do. Know your limits. Stop and take breaks and do the self-care and go to sleep at reasonable hours, and, don't just get caught up in your work. Something I do. Don't just get caught up in your work and then not eat. I can get so focused on what I'm doing and just sit and do it without breaks for hours and hours and hours that I don't eat. That's bad. That's bad, because then you're draining yourself. And if you do that too long, sometimes, it's an issue for me. Like, I'll go to bed super late. Sorry, there's a thing in the air. I'll go to bed super late, and then I'm only sleeping like 4 to 6 hours a night, where I get up and I just start right back into that work again. Don't do that. That's bad for you. So however it shows up for you, whatever you're doing in your life, and you feel like all these other things, whether it's kids, whatever, you feel like all these other things are taking priority, and they're not. You need to make time for yourself. And that's what we've got this week. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my YouTube page. If you want to get a personal reading with me, the only way to do so is through my website, which is GaiaTarot13.com. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr, where I pull a card every day, reading the energy of that specific day. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.